time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Coming at you live from Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show. And, well, we've been getting a lot of new listeners. Had a lot of new callers this week. That's why I know there's a lot of new listeners because, well, they just moved in town. And one thing I've noticed is when people move in town, they usually don't know anybody, especially if they're moving from out of state and moving for a job or just moving to get out of, wherever they're at or wherever they're from. So they don't know anybody. And so I got a call this week from Mr. Ray out of Florida, out of Gainesville, Florida. His son's buying a home up here, and we got talking about home prices, which are just crazy, but they are what they are. Like roof prices, they're crazy, but they are what they are. Well, his son's getting a job up here and moving up and looking for a place to buy. Well, they've making an offer, and he's like, hey, what's the price of a roof up there? I want to make sure he's going to have a good roof on his property and all this stuff. And this gentleman actually has rental properties in Florida. He actually has a business down there. I'll mention it. I'll probably talk to him later this week. I'll mention it on the air one of these times. I'm actually going to stop by there one of these times. But nevertheless, it's a restaurant. But nevertheless, he was just calling, just trying to get a general idea of roofing prices up here. And I was like, well, it varies. It's steepness and not what part of town, but are you in, the mid-state? Is he moving in, farther away out in the country? There's a lot of things that affect prices. And speaking of which, before I forget, and I didn't even write this down today, little birdies are chirping in my ear, and not currently, they previously did, that, well, there's some increases coming. There's some price increases coming. And a lot of it was already planned, but of course we know what's going on in this world. And for some reason, 20% of the oil of the world's oil we don't use raises our prices. But I digress. But what I do know is there is a price increase coming, and so keep that in mind. If you are, even if you're getting a repair, we got to buy new shingles. That'd be a higher price shingle now for the same shingle. If you're getting a replacement, it'll be a higher price replacement. Labor's still the same, at least mine, but, materials are going up. So that's something to consider if you're, number one, have had your roof inspected and ensured that you're good to go for the summer so you can go on vacation and do what you do. Number two, if you haven't had your roof inspected this year, it's a good time to do it. It's dry. We haven't had as much rain. It's been real dry. I mean, I know there's rain today and there was rain Thursday and but normally was it April showers bring May flowers? Well, yeah, there's not been a lot of April showers. It's a good time to get your roof inspected. And if there's an issue, be able to get it repaired when there's no rain, but also when the rains, I think they're behind. I've got a hypothesis I have since last deer season because everything was running behind. I don't know why. I'm a plant scientist, but I was going to say I'm not a rocket scientist, but nevertheless, that it's been off. It's been behind a little bit. And so I think we're going to see a lot of rain coming into May. That's just my gut. I don't know. I watch a guy in 2 weeks out. We're going to get a little bit, but we're still not our normal April showers for May flowers. So that leads me to speak out to the world that it's a good time for an inspection if you haven't had one. And it's also a good time to purchase if you haven't and need when it comes to roofing. Now siding, soffit, and fascia and gutters and all that, I haven't heard of anything going on up that. This is just for shingles. But yeah, that's, it happens every year, but I don't know what this number's fully going to be yet. I've been getting ranges, but until it gets here, it's just, to me, it's speculation, but it's not speculative that it's going up. Everything's going up. I'll give you a little prepper tidbit advice. If you need something and you can store something, you need to buy something now because if diesel's going up like it's going up and everything travels by fuel and oil, it's only going to go up. And when you work on this big of a macro scale of it coming in, it takes a moment for that ship to move. Well, it takes a moment for it to start showing up, except at the gas pumps. But, I'm sorry, I just laugh at myself sometimes. So, if I can use any other words here, but you need to get it if you've got it, if you need it. And when it comes to roofing, everybody needs a roof. And if you haven't had that inspection this year, call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751 for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, insulation, attic insulation needs, repairs and replacements. And as far as when it goes to insulation, that's just, we're going to overlay on top, and we do blow-in insulation. We're either going to go on top of what you've already got that's compressed, or if it's in bad shape or bad, or animals have been in there or something or whatever, it's nasty, the insulation that is, it's getting out. But we've got a few techniques we've got that we like to tell you in person how we're going to do it. It's my little trademark. I'm not going to give it out over the air. But it's pretty neat. But nevertheless, yeah, call 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com. And when you go there, and I've had a few people tell me the website's messing up, and I went to it. It did once, and then it didn't. I've got my people on it. But just scroll to the bottom of the page. You don't have to click anything. Just go straight to the website, scroll to the bottom of the page, and there should be a yellow form there for a contact card. Fill that out. And that comes straight into our CRM, as a lot of you know, and immediately you're getting a date. You'll have it by that afternoon. It comes in, and then we get scheduled. And so, and we're, as I say, turning and burning. March was busy. March was very busy. A lot of people were getting preemptive, and we've not had a lot of storms. I would tell you, don't count on the storm, because it may not come this year. Maybe next year. Maybe year after. Maybe not. I was looking at a storm report for a client, and there's been nothing there in 5 years. I mean, there's been a little bit of wind, but no hail. And so that leads me to say, to sort of also get into your paradigm, that it's not always guaranteed the storm's going to come, and it's not always guaranteed that the insurance is going to buy your roof. So get ahead of it now. And I don't mean just buy it now. I mean, start budgeting for it now. We can help you do that. That's what we do, actually. When we're out and when you call us and you've got an issue, or you just get an inspection and there's some minor maintenance, or if we're repairing a leak, we're letting you know generally what your roof cost is today, and generally how long you should expect your roof to last. Now, we can prognosticate, but, much like old punks with Tony Phil, we were not always right. I don't remember what he said this year, if it was 6 more weeks of winter or if he's going straight to spring, but it seems like we've just been bouncing back and forth because it's, a little cold front. We've still got our little, I guess, blackberry winters coming up, because I've seen them blooming. So that might be what this dip is. But nevertheless, I think you're picking up what I'm laying down. And, it's a crazy world right now. And I'm always here talking roofing. And I got to bring up last week that, I had Chris Terry here, and we was talking Back to the Strip, which is May 2nd this year in McMinnville, Tennessee. They raise a lot of money for a lot of good people in McMinnville that need help. And so there's ways that even if you don't go down and ride the Strip, that I believe that's a May 2nd, I think it's a Saturday night, if not whatever May 2nd is, you can go up there and ride the Strip to raise money for people that need a hand up, not a handout in Warren County. This is, I think he said, their 15th year. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can even donate food too as well. If you can't donate money, you can donate food. And I want to give their number out again, and you can find them on Facebook. It's Back to the Strip, McMinnville, Tennessee. But you can also call at 931. You can call them at 931-668-3372. And Mary, Teresa, Leanne, Carla, Elaine, Chris is not going to answer the phone. but someone will answer the phone and get you the information or to the person you need to talk to if that's something that, your heart leans to. So I got to give it a big shout out because I think I still haven't looked back and looked, but I think it's my 5th year of being part of this and doing what little RTM Roofing can do and myself can do and promote it. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's really a good thing. It needs to be franchised. There needs to be some other counties jumping in on things like that, and I'm sure there are. But if you're doing something like that, let me know. Call the office at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or you can go online to rtmroofing.com and let me know. We'll get you on the show. Talk about it. Got to vet you a little bit first because I've known Chris for forever. That's why I vetted him hard. And, I got Congressman Mike Grissom there, Mr. Grissom running for Congress. And people, that's a joke. We're just giving Mike Grissom a hard time. But we are trying to get him to run for Congress. He actually would be a good congressman. Maybe a Viola. But, or Irving College or wherever. But nevertheless, it's a good thing back to the Strip. But going back to money, shingles are going up here soon. Have you had your yearly inspection? It's time for it. Give us a call. Go to RTM Roofing, rtmroofing.com. Scroll to the bottom. Don't have to click on anything in the beginning. Just scroll to the bottom. Fill out the contact card. Then we'll come out and take a look, see what you got going on, help you budget for the prices that are coming. You're listening to Renovation Nation right here live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And as the man always said, we'll see you in 3. Hey, this is Chad with RTM Roofing and host of Renovation Nation. RTM Roofing's commercial division is looking for you. Are you a property manager? Do you own the building? Are you the business owner? You tired of leaks? You tired of chasing leaks? Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out the contact card, and let us help you out. And you know you're back. You know you're back. You know where you're back to. You know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Every Saturday here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah. Another good day. Another good day. Every day's a good day. You're up above ground, I say. I guess they say that, but I like to repeat it. But anyhow, you know where you're at. You're at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show called Renovation Nation. It's a show about nothing until we turn it into something. And today, I'm calling it knowledge. I think knowledge, giving you a little bit of knowledge, giving myself some knowledge because it makes me have to know it too. I'm a homeowner. I have a roof. I have siding. I have soffit. I have fascia. I have gutters. I don't have, no chimney caps. And I'm sitting there trying to think, no skylights. Nope. But I got insulation. Yeah. That's what all we usually generally talk about here, unless I've got some guests on or I'm just having one of my days where I'll have a chatterant or something like that and go off on something, typically insurance or everybody that wants a free roof and, all that good stuff. But speaking of free, nothing's free out there, is it? And stuff is rising in prices and going to rise. It's going to rise whether anything changes tomorrow or not in the world situation because, the trickle down has already started. And that led me to talking about a lot about prices are coming up in May. I don't know what day, but here's the good thing. If you're needing it currently, we can go ahead and get you signed and get it locked in. Now, who was I telling the other day? Mr. Copas. I was telling Mr. Copas the other day that, and I every time I say that, I feel like I'm being sold, because that's a word. Hey, we'll lock you in right now. This, you always hear all that, and I've never believed any of it. But, meaning there's no price increase. They're just, hey, lock it in. But no, we've been told it's coming. And I don't know the exact date, but I know the way it's always worked in the past. Things we signed before that date get that price. Yeah, that's the way it goes. After that, new price. Because there is material on the yard. Now, if it was treated like gas, price on what's there right now. But either way, coming here in a few weeks, there's going to be a price increase. So I will say again that if you've not had your roof inspected, if you've had your roof inspected and you do need repairs or replacements or siding or soffit or anything, it's a good time to get it. It's cheaper now than it will be here in a few weeks. It's more expensive now than it was a year ago, I would say. I know because we went up last year at one point. So it's already higher, and I always say for the same product. And if you need that product, get it now. Yeah, it's, get it now. Hey, world's going to end. No, it's not. But it's my job to do what I do here to let you know that. Even if I didn't own a roofing company and I was just here talking construction, I'd be telling you the same thing. I just happen to be the guy or have the team that'll come out and see the problem you have and help you with it. But let's get back to budgeting. Let's get to budgeting a little bit. What's a budget? I learned in business there's two types of budget. There's a budget of what you expect to sell, and there's a budget of what you can spend. And everybody used to, I don't know if it's taught in school anymore. I don't think it is, but it might be. Sorry, teachers, didn't mean to offend you. But my point is, some of them aren't learning it, how to get a budget. It took me 45 years to learn a budget. But nevertheless, the point is that this isn't a small ticket item. Now, repairs, when you're having a roofing repair, yes, they can be $300, $500, $1,000, a couple $1,000s. But a roof, you're going to start, even in the smallest of houses, and minus a little tiny house, you're going to start in the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,000 range, and that's for, 1,000 square foot houses, 1,200 square foot houses. You get up into 2,000, 3,000 square foot houses, you're in the 12, 15, 18. You get into the 30s and 40s, you're into the 18s, the 20s, and so on and so forth. And it's not something most people just leave lying around and go, hey, look at that spare change. Let's go buy a roof, honey. I tell a lot of people, I said, nobody woke up okay, one person did. Out of, I don't know, 100,000 people, one person woke up and has been thinking about it, left their house the other day, looked back at their house. Either something didn't look right or something didn't look right. Hey, looked old, looked used, looked worn out, had missing things on it. Things were leaning that you never really noticed that were leaning but couldn't remember. And got to thinking, I need to get my roof looked at, number one. Number two, if it's as bad as I think it is, which most people usually think, you can repair anything like a car, and on the roofing, that's really it's throwing money away extremely. If you've got a beat up roof that's literally dead but still somehow barely shedding water and you keep trying to patch it, at that point you are throwing money away. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes, and that's where the budget comes in, because sometimes we have to get you to your budget to replace your roof because there isn't any hail or wind damage. It's not insurable. Or your insurance didn't buy it. They paid for 380 shingles, but not all of them. We've got to get you budgeted. So we will help patch you up. I call it putting Band-Aids, but we're doing repairs, but I'm not going to do the full Monty repair on everything that I'm seeing going on. Only the critical things to keep the water out of your house, to minimize the cost out of your pocket, because technically what you're doing, that's part of your new roof price. If you're having to repair it while you're saving your money to get it replaced, that's part of your new roof price, because what we repair is going to come off at whatever point you get to that budget. Now, there's financing. Now, if you've listened to this show long enough, I hate financing because I was stupid in my 20s. Lord, was I stupid in my 20s. and some of my 30s. Not really those, mainly my 20s, late teens and 20s. And I hate financing. Now, do I finance things? Sure I do. I finance my house. I finance vehicles. Yeah, of course I do. But there's financing in roofing. We can offer that. Now, I'll tell people usually go to your bank, you should know your banker anyway, like you should know your insurance person. But go talk to your banker, or just go into your bank and start talking to somebody in the loan department or whatever, and see what kind of rates you can get. You know, I know they're higher than they were a few years back, but nevertheless, sometimes when you're in a situation, you got to do what you got to do. But see what they offer. We send all of our clients when requested. It's a quick link, and it's really simple. But since I haven't had to finance a roof in a while, because I changed mine out back in February of 2020, that I don't know if my bank would be a better deal or what we're offering is a better deal, because I hadn't went and done all the legwork of it. You know, what's your credit score and history, you know, and all that great stuff that goes with that. Yeah, when I started my business, my credit score was 0. So I quit using credit for years after I got in a hole, because I was in my 20s having fun. It was fun. Now I will tell you, there was some fun moments spending money, but that $100 back then, which would be like $1,000 a day I spent that night, cost me $10,000 in the end. And I didn't need it. I wanted it, right? I wanted it. I wanted to be out having fun. I didn't need to be out having fun. Well, your roof's a different story. Most people don't go wanting a roof. Don't wake up with that money sitting at the side and go, hey, honey, hey, wake up. I got an idea. You know, excited. Just wake, hey, get up. You ready? What? Let's go roof shopping. If somebody does that, you got to film it and send it to me, because at 1 out of 100,000 is what I say. Now, it's probably more like 1 in 10,000, but it's that rare though. Now, you'll wake up mornings and go, let's go car shopping. Let's go AC shopping. Let's go boat shopping. Let's go clothes shopping, which of clothes is a need, no doubt. But a lot of the other things are wants. And, you know, it is what it is. So I want you to get on a budget for not only your roof repair, that will come at some point if you own a home and have a roof above your head, or your replacement, because that will come at some point unless you move every year and don't get hit by a storm. Yeah, that's what I want, because you need it. Well, you're listening to Renovation Nation live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's a Saturday. Maybe a little rain finally, maybe a little wind. Hopefully you don't get a leak. Well, come on back. We'll see you in 3. Hey, this is Chad Rowland with RTM Roofing. Are you the type of person that takes pride in your home? Let RTM Roofing help with the exterior, with your roof, with your siding, with your soffit, fascia, your gutters, your chimney caps. Home insulation now too. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom and fill out the contact card. Let RTM Roofing help you get ready for summer. You know where you're at. You know we're back. You know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Every Saturday. Whew. It's another Saturday. This year's flying by. Well, I had my birthday last week. Yep. Almost a double nickel, but not quite. I got to take a buddy of mine down he had to go to the doctor. I'm going to send out some prayers to Big TM out there. He knows who I'm talking about. But send some prayers. He's in an automobile accident, actually a big truck accident, hauling some worm castings. And but getting him healed up and all that good stuff. He's doing well, and we'll give him a big shout out. A lot of people are praying for you, brother. So what else did I do? Now, I'm tired of talking about roofing for a minute. Went and saw last weekend, got to go see Saren play rugby. Lindenwood playing sevens, played SNU and Davenport out of Michigan. SNU, I believe, is out of Oklahoma, and I swear they'll give me a heart attack one of these days. You hear me drop out there, it'll be from that. First day, and give you a little backstory here. Sevens in rugby are about, I think they're 15-minute games. And you got a little 2-minute halftime, so it's quick. It's quick. It's a lot more opened up because there's only 7 players on each side instead of like 15s, which are 15 against 15, and they go for about an hour and a half. But nevertheless, that the first half, Davenport had Saren and them. They were 19-0. 19-0. I was like, oh, this is going to be brutal. And in second half, I mean, Davenport 0, and Lindenwood down to the last minute again. Last minute to the last kick to kick the try or the whatever you want to call it. They get the try and then the extra. I call it extra point. Excuse me, rugby players, and kick it and score, and it's 20-19. Yeah, in 15 minutes. You want to talk about intense? That was good, and she's doing good down there. I know we had her and Frida Tafuna. Now Frida was playing. She's playing Worlds right now, or was then last week. She's playing on the Worlds team, and if you haven't seen her, go back. That reminds me, if you didn't catch any of the show today, you can go to YouTube and search A Standard Conversation, one word, A Standard Conversation, or Google or YouTube, RTM Roofing Nashville or Renovation Nation. There's a bunch of them. But you can catch earlier this show and what I'm talking about, or better yet, catch that show or last week's Back to the Strip show. Back to the Strip in McMinnville, Tennessee, 2026, May 2nd, raising money for people in McMinnville. And yeah, go listen to that after when you get a moment and check out what they're doing. A lot of good stuff down there, and see how you can donate, should you, or go down there and drop off some cans of food. But they're doing food and money, and I want to give their number out one more time real quick. If you're interested in anything Back to the Strip in McMinnville, Tennessee, give them a call. It's 931-668-3372. I'm going to say it one more time. 931-668-3372. And Mary and the gang down there, don't ask for Chris Terry. He's not going to answer. He's not. Mike Grissom will tell you he's just not. He's an SA. But Mike needs to get his campaign signs out for Congress out there. We're getting close to the season, Mike. So anyway, but yes, back to the Strip. It's a good deal. It's a good deal, and I'll be down there May 2nd. Barring something else, I'll definitely be down there riding around and supporting the cause. So anyhow, what else? But yes, you can go to YouTube and watch any of our shows. Any of this year's, especially. Now, some of last year's are on there, but everyone this year's been on it. So if you missed anything, you can catch it there. And I do a lot of reels. I like the reels because it's just some good snippets. And if you're enjoying that, then you can go on over and watch the full length. But, you're hearing it right here. So thanks for tuning in, by the way. I always got to remind myself to thank everybody listening because I really appreciate it. I don't expect you to. It amazes me as many people listen, not to this station, but this show. I understand why you listen to this station, but to this show, because I get a lot of emails and a lot of calls, and of course RTM too. A lot of you do pay attention when needed, and don't listen to this show and pay attention to the whole thing. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, but there are moments of some clarity that I can, I like to explain it the way that you don't know what you don't know, and it really sucks. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it because it sucks. When you have to find out there's a lot of zeros on the end of it. That hurts. Usually you don't do that twice because, you know what, I'm not going to go into that, but a lot of you know where I go after that. But, yeah, you don't do it twice. So I try to tell you things that I've seen happen, that's happened to me personally, but even before I was in roofing, and stuff that I didn't know to do that ended up costing me additional money I shouldn't have had to have spent, but I did because I didn't get things maintenance. I thought I should get maintenance, and a roof is one of the biggest ones you need to maintenance, period, because everything else is underneath it. Now, it took me 40-something years to come to that conclusion. Number one, because I'm finally owning homes and all of that good stuff, but number two, I got into this side of the business, and it's like anything. I always use McDonald's, for example, and I like McDonald's. I got nothing against McDonald's. I just like using them as my analogy, the Big Mac. I always talk about the Big Mac. You go to McDonald's anywhere in the country and you get a Big Mac. Well, when you call RTM Roofing, you should get that Big Mac. There's only one RTM Roofing, but at least here in Nashville, that you should get the same consistency. And that's what we strive for at RTM Roofing. And when it comes to your roof, we joke around, but we don't joke around. We're deadly serious in what we're telling you. And we want you to know the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as good, bad, or ugly as it is. Hate being the don't shoot the messenger guy, but sometimes we get on some of your roofs and they're bad. They're rough. And I love it when you guys, I'm going to give you all a hard time now a little bit. I love it when you guys, when I show up anyhow and talking like, that's just a small leak up there. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, great. And I'll get up there and it's been leaking for a while, and it's like going to the doctor. You can't lie to us when we come out about your roof. It just like you when you go to the doctor, your blood work shows what it shows. Well, your roof shows what it shows when we see it. We know what we're looking for. But it gets back to, though, it's about money. A roof's a lot of money. Your home is an extremely lot of money. Your home goes up in value. Your roof helps appreciate that value. Because if your roof goes away, the home deteriorates, the value goes down. That's, if you could see me right now, I'm just sort of shrugging my shoulders like, that's just, 1 + 1 is 2. And granted, most of you, it's not as bad a shape as you think, but the maintenance required on a roof, it is needed because it moves back and forth. I mean, going from this past week's 80s, or I don't know if it hit 90 or not, but felt like it at times, to what we're going to have over the next 3 or 4 days, lows in the 40s, low 40s tomorrow night, and we're looking at the weather. And then low 50s, but we're going from, what was it? It was 85 on Wednesday, and we're going to be 62 on Sunday. That's a big jump overall. But really, it's going from 85 to 43. And then some upper mid-70s next week. So everything is moving back and forth. Caulking especially. Shingles, metals, your metal roofs out there. I talk a lot about metal roofs. They're expanding, contracting. And those screws with grommets, the exposed screw classic rib panel, the majority of people have, that those grommets are contracting and shrinking, and sometimes they don't go back to where they were. Then after some of these big rains like we're going to have and are having, you'll get a leak. And then, sometimes it's just a few screws, and sometimes it's all the screws because they're all the same age, and it's like, changing your tires. Usually if your tires got 100,000 miles on them, you're usually changing all 4, not just the one that blew that time. But again, it goes back to the budget, right? It's expensive to change the screws out, 1,000 to 3,000 or 4,000 screws on a roof. It is. It's expensive. That metal roofing system is expensive. Is real expensive. But again, it protects everything you own, unless you own multiple houses or have stuff in storage units, which amazes me. I'll squirrel for a second. A lot of people have storage units and a home. And those aren't cheap either. And they have a roof on them. So, as a matter of fact, if you are a storage unit company and you need your roofs looked at, call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, now attic insulation, blown-in insulation needs. We do repairs and replacements and budgeting. All 3 combined sometimes. Repair the shed, replace the house, budget you for the shed. That worked out pretty good. Yeah, that's we can do all that. But your gutters require maintenance too. Your siding, not as much maintenance. If you have a hardy board, that requires a little bit of maintenance where the boards meet the trim boards. There's some caulking there that can deteriorate. And if your hardy's been put all the way down on top of your roof, there should be an inch and a half gap there depending. And it will wick up water and it'll start to rot. And hardy board is, meant to be a monolithic system. I'm not meaning to jump into hardy right now, but maybe I will right here in a little bit, but I'll keep going for a second, if that made any sense. That there is maintenance to hardy board. And when you get into your fascia and your soffit, that can be wood, or which has to be painted every so many years, 5, 6, 7 years, depending on the paint job. Or you can wrap it in metal. That will last pretty much till you get a hailstorm where it blows off. If you're not getting it, maintenance. All kinds of things we do. But right now, what we're doing is Renovation Nation live here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's a knowledge day. Throwing some knowledge out there, and I'm actually learning it myself. Come on back. See you through. Hey, this is Chad with RTM Roofing and host of Renovation Nation. RTM Roofing's commercial division is looking for you. Are you a property manager? Do you own the building? Are you the business owner? You tired of leaks? You tired of chasing leaks? Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out the contact card, and let us help you out. Oh, and you know you're back. You know where you're back? I think I know where you're back. You know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yeah, that's still not a good intro. I'm trying to change it up, but it's not working. You know where you are. You know where you're back. Yes, you do. Listening to Renovation Nation live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show. Spitting out a little knowledge today, mainly for myself, because they say if you say it out loud and hear it back, hey, you retain it more. But I meet a lot of you guys, and I meet a lot of people, and I say your name 10,000 times, and I'll forget it 2 seconds later. Good Lord. Crazy times, guess just getting older. But nevertheless, thanks for sticking around today. Thanks for hanging out and tuning in. Appreciate the listens. Yeah, it's Saturday. I sort of just want to take that rest of the time off, just spin some music. And I've threatened that a bunch. I've done it in the past, but I've threatened that a bunch lately. I'm going to have to do that on one of these upcoming shows. Just spin some tunes so you can change your oil, ride around. I know a lot of you at work listen. I get a lot of those people tell me, yeah, man, I'm at work, we do it. And I can't, was it Art Pancakes down there, Nolan's Road? I know the last time I was in there, they were talking about it. And what's up, guys and gals? Do your thing. But thanks for listening. Anyhow, I've got a little bit more to talk about today while we enjoy this Saturday. But when I talk about the knowledge is the knowledge of a budget. Just the budget. Nothing spectacular, nothing slick. Just the first thing you need to do to get a budget is find out how much something costs. And that's where we come into play, RTM Roofing. Yeah, just call our RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights. Now, blown in home insulation. We don't do the spray foam, but we can hook you up with that, but that's not our niche. We're going into, or are into, blown in insulation. And we're helping, been a lot of you call about that and getting surprised by not the cost of it, but the cost isn't really that bad, actually. I mean, yes, it's money. It's real money, but it's not the price of a roof. And in my personal opinion, now, again, when you ask the scientific numbers, everybody's scared to give you anything, but I'm telling you, if you get back up to what you're supposed to be, at least an R38, and you've been sitting at a R10, R12, you're going to have some savings. You're going to make your money back. Now, the way you make your money back with your roof is everything in your house is still there and appreciating. If you've got stuff that appreciates, if you don't, well, your property's appreciating because the building's appreciating. But if you've got a guitar like I've got behind me, the roof's pretty important. Now, does that guitar I got cost the price of a roof? No. Do I consider it that much? Yes. That Les Paul's been with me for a long time, and that GMP, where's my GMP? I'm going to find my GMP here. Where did my green guitar go? I think I got it in my bag. But my point is, they've been on the road with me a lot, so there's a lot of sentimental value there. They've played in front of, hundreds of thousands of people. But now me, it doesn't matter. It's more the guitar. It's worth more than I am. But the point I'm getting at, though, is back to your budget, that you need to know your budget. Well, if you've not had your annual inspection on your roof, on your siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, attic, let us look in your attic, see what kind of insulation you got going on. Then it's that time. And while we're not getting much rain, which means if we find issues or you do need something, or maybe it is insurable, we'll see. We'll check for all that. You're better off to do it sooner than later, because earlier in the show I was talking about come May, I don't know what day in May yet, prices are going up. We're getting an increase. And just like every business, it goes to them, comes to us, goes to you. And I don't want to pass that on if I don't have to. If you know you're ready, if you know you need something, or just want to get it inspected and see what the budget is, so you'll be prepared in a year, 6 months, 6 years, 20 years, to have a general idea at least what the value of your roof is. It's another thing I figured out. Most people know the value of their home. They don't their roof. I guess it's sort of reverse psychology. They think, when you immediately think your home, it's like, well, I bought that at $200. It's 8 years later, not in this crazy national market, but it used to be. Bought my home for $200 in 1998. It's 2026. It's worth $600. Okay. Well, now equate that back to your roof. I got a roof in 2012, and it was $10,000. It's now $17,000, $18,000, $20,000. And it's about to be increased again. So it didn't appreciate. It's just the cost of it did. But what appreciated during that from 2010 or 8 or 2000 roof, what it did was help appreciate your home from $200,000 to $600,000 or $800,000 or $1 million now, because it's still here. So that's the value of the budget, and that's the value of your wealth. I used to always think everybody was rich, it's just they had a lot of cash. No, it's not having a lot of cash. You got to have cash flow, but it's having a lot of assets. And in this world nowadays, with the way inflation's going, and by the way, I'm no financial advisor. I can just see tea leaves on the wall. But by the way everything's inflating right now, unless it's something, as long as it's not a depreciating asset, which you can write off. But what am I trying to say here? Assets is a good place to be, because the dollar's getting cheaper and things are costing more, and it's taking more dollars to buy them. And come May, it's going to take more dollars then to buy what you can buy today, especially in roofing. Shingle roofs especially. Now, I'm sure metal's coming and all that too, but I was quoting some panels the other day, and it was for something different than just a standard roof. It was more like an awning deal. It's commercial, but the price that it went up since last November, and it was the aluminum. It wasn't the panel itself. It was the aluminum, and it was a big number. It was a big number jump overall. It's a large job, but nevertheless, if you're going to spend $16,000, $18,000 on your roof right now, well, in a month, it might be 19.1 instead of 18. Either way, it might be 18.9 instead of 18. It's still going to be higher. So I don't know. I just sometimes I get mad at myself because I feel like I'm wanting to get this across to you so hard and so passionately that I feel like I'm like, you got to do this and that and this, when if you met me 15 years ago, I'd been like, go whatever yourself. You just patch it. Just stick some glue in it. We'll be fine. I ain't worried about that drip. Not you gave me that price. But again, doing what I've done over a decade now, and seeing like I was talking about McDonald's earlier, seeing the inner workings of just the inside of the business, and what I'd assumed when I didn't do this was actually wrong, way wrong. I used to assume, who needs a roof? Why you need a roof? It's a 50-year roof. It lasts a lifetime. I changed one growing up. One growing up. That's all I ever changed. I meet people that's never changed one except maybe growing up when I was a kid. But people move more now. Now, it's going to sound backwards, but people move more now, and you don't know what you're moving into. New home, you still get it inspected, especially before the first year is over with. Newly built, 100%. Do it before the year's up. Especially do it in year 2. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I think I'm going to spin a tune. If I could spin one up real quick, I would right now. But what I will do is say, if you've caught anything out of the show today, go to our YouTube page, Standard Conversation. Hit subscribe. Hit like on some videos. Because I know you're here liking what we're doing because you're here every Saturday, 11 to 12. And if you've caught something out of this show that's made you think about your personal home, your business, we do commercial work as well. Offer financing should you need it. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com. Scroll to the bottom, fill it out, and we'll come out. You guys have a great week. Stay safe out there. See ya.
Thanks for watching Renovation Nation. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share button.